Hey, what's up, everybody? So it's another Let's Play here. This is Seduce Me the Otome. This is, again, on Steam. It's free. You can take a look. Let's try it out. I haven't done anything with the game. I have no idea. This is gonna be a little weird. This is a fictional animation to real-life people. It's purely coincidental. Okay. Please know that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please know that sexual violence themes are exploited in this game. Trigger warnings: abuse, rape, suicide. If you've been warned, please enjoy.
Why, hello. My, aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
I don't know what to put.
A lovely name.
I don't
For
know.
a lovely person like you. Wonderful.
Okay.
Eric, do your job.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Ren'Py Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it.
Wow.
Eric.
Fine, fine. Farewell, my sweet.
Somewhere. Someone just gets shot.
Come on! Is that all you got?
Wanna try me, asshole?
Those are gunshots. Okay.
Crap! Missed.
Let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
That's right. You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Fate call concept. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory. It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers, though there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint.
Okay, what do we do? Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here. But it's a season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I love the sound of it, the way the raindrops fell. Like the soft tapping of fingers, it was so soothing. Even looked at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky to have seated next to the window, although I did spend more time staring outside than I paid attention in class. The lectures in the class were pretty boring. Miss Phillips' voice wasn't so horrific, but I was just interested in what she was saying. And since it was a period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I don't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in class, but it was only because I read the textbooks and did my assignments as I had to. I was only taking the class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. Lucky, it was my senior year, so after this semester, it won't mean the end of high school courses forever. It would mean the end of high school courses. Thank God for that. I don't hate high school. It's just kind of mundane how days drifted on and on if there were no end to it. The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them, but that was kind of it. In short, I'm done with high school. I started my second semester, brought a note to okay, I'm a terrible reader. You guys haven't noticed I'm a terrible reader and a terrible speller. Of course, you don't know I'm a terrible speller, but I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and was expecting to apply sometime in the next few months. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That's it. If things could change, I started at a faint outlet of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class. It is. Never liked high
Miss
school.
Anderson.
But Miss Philip raised voice interrupted my train of thought. As I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me because I just didn't notice I was spacing out. Yes, ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
There's no equation on the blackboard. Oh, I think I read about that in the textbook lesson. It should be the Black-Scholes model
Very
formula.
good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson, it followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know my name, know me by my first name, but rather my surname. No doubt, since the surname was the trademark of internationally famous philosopher Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Woohoo! Suzu, my best friend, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder.
Kick ass, girl.
Aye. For besides me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Susie's choice of words.
She means good job.
Miss Capini.
Oi.
Oi?
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Scholes. Fisher Black and Myron Scholes.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi were scooted their decks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Yeah! Oops, sorry. Yay! Whenever the teacher let students decide the group, we always grouped together. It was our little trio. It was sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity to get stuck together as much as we could. Besides, we're the most comfortable around each other than say compared to being around my other classmates. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out a poster we were working on and rolled it open onto the 3 desks. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, although we did still have a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit prettier, ooh, prettier, I know how that is, people. We're gonna make the poster pretty! Now, maybe I should do that, but I can't do that voice for the whole time. We sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She slightly tapped a pencil against the chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Susie straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened as she spoke up.
How about a company name? Huh? Did we really skip over that? Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our project. At least we caught it this time. What do we name it? Not sure. What do you think?
It always came down to me. Whenever there was something to be named or titled, I was the master in any decision. Even when I didn't want to be.
I like Trinity Corporations. That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company? What do dragons have to do with our project? What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's Bob. But our company sells bubblegum. Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum? What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
Both of them looked at me expectantly, even though I wasn't quite sure myself. I didn't really want to choose sides, but if it were up to me, I would say... Oh, dang it. Yeah, Dragons!
Booyah! Dragon Company it is! Alright, now that Now what?
As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Oh, who was that?
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with the circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in school, and as a result, everyone in the school knew them. And the center of all of it was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an enduring balance of charisma and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to somebody. It was easy to make her smile and laugh. She was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious, even though some of it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course, my friends knew that what was between us, and upon seeing my glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
Doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion. She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work. Oh,
Okay.
come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be. The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you. What's that supposed to mean? Never mind. It's about time! Let's bail.
Unsurprisingly, Sue was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
She gave me a smile, as if relieved by the fact that I felt the same way as she did.
See? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
It's Suzu, Naomi. Think about
Very
it.
true.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you
Did she just
kidding
get
me?
taller?
That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I'd have to admit I was spacing out, and just because I answered one of the questions doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Despite this, they both burst into laughter. Normally anyone would think that opposites like them would ever associate with each other, but even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or the personality just didn't dictate the personality of the friendship. After all, we three have been best friends since preschool. Preschool!
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Me?
It's
I
big
would pay
red.
good money to get a taste of it.
That's spicy. Haha, you do like spicy food after all. Nice way to put the conversation. We entered the cafeteria while a bustling room filled with aromas of different kinds of food. We got in line, we ordered our meals, and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy.
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with... Ooh. Cajun fries and spicy burger too. What? Naomi's having two. Just mac and cheese. Ooh, mac and cheese and a soda. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her foot. By her food, sorry.
Alright then. Is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know. Let's talk about...
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
Okay, I just want to point out, just to pause for 10 seconds. Okay. Suzu's in, like, a shirt, and, like, I don't know, leather jacket? Naomi's in, you know, kick pants, and, you know, nice stuff. The chick you're supposed to be is in a dress shirt with a dress tie. What is up with that? Seriously? Seriously. This is ridiculous. It's like a uniform, but like nobody else is wearing a uniform, so what's up with that? Okay. That's my own thing. Alright, where are we
You
going?
don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
True.
That's good, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, I really wasn't. It really wasn't about wanting a relationship. It was more there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there are too many interesting guys. There were not too many interesting guys in school to go out with. Wow, I'm terrible at reading. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation, but however, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started to up an announcement. I go through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh, but I kept my mac and cheese and soda?
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
That would be something I would actually say in school.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
No, nothing's happened for like 8 minutes. Funny enough, something did happen, and it was certainly no laughing matter. Oh, cold. It was really cold. The rain came heavier that afternoon, accompanied by a rolling thunder now then. The skies had turned dark, although I could not see any of it under my black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. A small gathering of people, mostly made the relatives I did not even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me. There's my father standing and holding up a large black umbrella for a small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gravestone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as my grandfather's lawyer. He pulled a few documents from his suitcase and began to read out loud his contents.
Now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Right at the grave. Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate.
Oh!
All the furniture and decor that reside within the
Nice.
house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Nice. What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18? It was impossible. Yet, it was written in my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't sure to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to her mansion? I was not even ready to... Was I even ready to live?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
David.
Wow, what a jerk. Even though she'd raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car. Disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go ahead of the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
There's a ghost in this, isn't there? I just like, what is going on? She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sudden-looking grave that laid in front of me. The solid-looking... whatever. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own father in the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. Jerk. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. After all that, I go, sorry, Grandpa. Like, what? Okay, I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out to me was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the furthest from it, like that one time a long time ago. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug. We both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful even as I grew older. Sorry that Dad couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was very busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we should go.
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Ooh, is it a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it very. It was beautiful crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put in it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should lighten up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive. It can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considered my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Oh, well, I hope it can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down, looked at me, eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he is always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who stayed quiet were my father and my grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend if there's nothing wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, then pointed to my chest.
So stay strong, promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading. But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise! Upon hearing this, Grandpa let out a big burst of laughter and stood up.
Alright then, enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen. Yeah!
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think you would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled up within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. Oh, I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you left me so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. Ha! What am I doing? Talking to a grave? My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might turn against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Ooh. Thanks, Mom! Yes! Lasagna. Approval! However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I'm not sure it was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathered my courage, I decided it was time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why did you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes?
Ooh, you're telling me what to major in?
Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral?
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
But what if...
Stop mumbling!
But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came close to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
Look at her face. Weird green eyes. It's like nothing ever happened at all. You just ignore the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
What did he ever do to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms and interrupted in angry laughter.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Is that? You're happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, you were holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces. Did you feel just a bit happier since seeing him lie in the graveyard? Whoa! Across his face, he puts the back of his hand across my cheek. Wow. That was loud.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. That's loud. That was really loud, guys. Sorry, I'm not laughing because that's terrible. Like, don't get this. That's just like wham! Like whoa.
You did not know my father. You did not know what he was capable of.
Is everything all right? What happened?
Nothing. I'm not hungry. I just think I'll go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath became in short pants. For a while I leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheek still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked in the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. Ha! What am I saying? Tears formed in the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. It had to be strong on that.
Are you all right? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
I'm fine. Just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though. And I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs and eat later. I'll come downstairs later to eat. Sorry, I can't read.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
Dramatic pause. I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her that Dad had done. At the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, Mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really don't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off of what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move to my father's house tomorrow. I should probably pack all my stuff so I would be prepared for tomorrow. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally found 2 large bags. Pulling them out onto the floor, I began to empty my drawers and cabinets so I should bring things with them. I don't have much to bring other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have any personal belongings. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I wouldn't miss if I suddenly left the house. I shook my head to rid myself of those thoughts. If I were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home. I was packing my things, my cell phone began to ring and vibrate in my pocket. I slid my phone in my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto the bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey Anderson, you there? Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call. Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, although it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I slowly began to tell him about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed then. I was done recounting what happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry.
Nope. No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood. So, could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn. Right, Suzu? Yeah. We're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang. Yeah, I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
What's with you and naming things?
What's with me?
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind to the cool kids like Anderson and me. Hey! I'm a cool kid! If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game.
We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I'd forgotten all about the events that day when I was engaged into a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show, some program called Herlock. We all agreed that the actor playing the Tuturolo? What is that word? Seriously, who puts that? Certainly had a very distinctive look about him. It was with the long overcoat and scalp wrapped around the neck. Scarf. Can't talk. We had our disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah. He was really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty, though I'd have to say I prefer Jason? And as a bonus, his actor is so sassy. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m. Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm going to hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school tomorrow. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. I took a relaxing session. Nothing beat hot shower and feeling like being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. Nice hot shower for the long day. I'm so glad I'm finally to be in bed. Okay, we're gonna save here, guys. Cool. We're gonna save here. We're gonna continue on another video. I'm running a little late. This is probably one of the longest videos I've ever done. So I will see you guys again. This will probably be on Wednesday again. Probably keep that up going here. Just like Spookies will be on Friday for a while. So you guys have fun. I haven't really gotten into the game, so that's kind of the sad part. I will see you guys then. Please check out the game in the description below. The Seduce Me the Otome. So check it out. Cool. Please follow me on Twitter. Please follow me on Twitch. Watch my streams and Instagram. And I will see you guys again. Bye.